All right, guys, we are on site today right here at the Caribbean Resort. I am with Michael and Jaime Fulmer. We are in Unit 521, the unit that they spent $35,000 remodeling. You'd like to invest in an oceanfront condo at a beach resort. I'd like to show you how they make profit and break down all their expenses so you understand how they operate, how they appreciate over time, and how to choose the right property manager for your goals. I'd also like to let you know what your HOA includes, how the location best services the tourist booking your unit, how your tourist can navigate the area to the best attractions, restaurants, and local events. I'd like to give you a market report on the resort that you're checking out today so that you make savvy investment decisions. And if you stay tuned until the end, I'll show you my top picks for the units that have appreciated the most in our market or generated the most gross rental income. So no matter if you're a first-time investor, a seasoned professional transitioning into the real estate game, or simply a casual investor who wants to buy an oceanfront condo to rent out while you're not using it for vacation. Whether you've got 15% to pay down because you're financing or you're a cash buyer, if it's an oceanfront condo you're after, you'll be better because I'm aiming to give you a 10 times return on your time for watching this video to the end. Now, Michael, a lot of people are going to, want to know, is it worth it to invest $35,000 in an oceanfront condo? What's your thoughts?
If you want it to pop, you do. You have to put some amenities into your condo to make sure that people, when they look it on Airbnb or VRBO or wherever you decide to advertise it at, that it's going to pop on those pictures.
Yep.
People always shop with their eyes, and that's what you want to see, especially when it comes with pictures.
Yeah, it's a very, very great way to say it. People shop with their eyes. You want people that are scrolling on Airbnb and VRBO to stop and go, ooh, because they see those beautiful bright colors, those contrasting colors. They see that modern look to your unit. Now, let's kind of talk through a handful of those things. I noticed that you have an orange stripe over here.
Yes.
Kind of walk us through why you decided to do that, because that's not common on every unit.
No.
The orange was specific. We wanted a pop of energy, but we picked a Hermes orange, actually, which is a little bit of sophisticated orange, in addition to the fun. And that was our main focus, was a little bit of extra fun, but sophistication as well.
That's right, yeah. And I think that the modern theme really complements that a lot, obviously. Now, walk us through, I noticed you got some really cool headboards. I know it might sound silly, but I mean, like, I feel like I want to hang out, you know what I mean? Like, talk to me about the headboards. I got LED lights. What's the deal there?
When we were going through the store looking at different things, we saw these LED lights and it popped. And it was, again, it's another pop. You want to continue to pop. You want to grab those people's attention whenever you're trying to rent and say, look, we have a higher end bed than most people will have.
Yeah.
A lot of people just have like a white headboard or a brown headboard. Yeah. We've got one that has lights around it if you want.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the whole time you guys got in your mind, the type of person that I'm going to attract to my Airbnb is going to be somebody that is sophisticated and modern and wanting to have fun.
Right.
100%. That's why we turned this room into what we call our fun room.
Yeah.
As you first come in the door, you see it, and it's like, oh wow, look at the orange, look at the pictures, look at the TV, look at the video game.
Yeah.
We've got all kinds of different things in this first room as you first walk in that makes you say, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Right. It is very cool. Now, I noticed that you converted this from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom.
Yes.
We did.
And that's kind of bold.
Well, it is kind of bold. Well, but our philosophy was most of these units here, they do accommodate 6 people. But that includes a small Murphy bed. That also includes a pull-out couch. And if myself personally, I don't want to spend my whole vacation on a pull-out couch. Exactly. So we have 2 queen beds here that are very comfortable. That if you're looking to have 6 people in here, you can sleep really good at 6 people.
And you're not going to be all busted up on a pull-out couch.
Correct.
Right. Comfort was our main mission. We wanted lots of room to spread out, to enjoy yourself. Fun, comfortable, relaxing vacation.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, talk to me about your barnyard door choices, your art choices. You know, what made you put a barnyard door in here?
Well, that
go
was
ahead.
for lack of space, honestly, because honestly, it's a small unit. Like you said, it's, you know, just straight through,
Shotgun
but
style.
shotgun style. But those eliminating the regular doors, I mean, to me, it doubled the square footage of
Yeah,
this.
it was a lot more
unit.
functional. It was a lot more
Yeah.
functional. Plus, it's modern.
Plus, it's modern
And it's
yes.
trendy.
It's
Yeah.
trendy.
Yeah, so
But-
And it's
obviously,
cool.
So it checked a lot of boxes.
it checked a lot of boxes.
Yes.
Now, your artwork throughout. Kind of walk me through that.
Now the artwork did kind of come as we were going. We didn't have any plans of what we were going to get. We just went to the store and started looking at, well, what went with this and what went with that, and then the pieces and everything that we put in here just kind of naturally evolved from
Yeah.
that
Well,
point.
and we wanted a lot of color, but we didn't want the typical cliche beach
Yeah,
decor.
come on now.
And so we wanted to keep that, like I keep saying, the fun, the pops of color, and everything just kind of worked together as we went
Yeah,
to, you know, to flow.
yeah. Now, tell me, do you guys plan on doing any additional marketing of this unit outside of Airbnb and VRBO?
Yeah, we're having an Instagram account that we're going to be setting up soon. Unfortunately, I don't have it ready yet, but we will be posting many vignettes and letting people see how things work and just so they can imagine themselves being here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I will tell you guys, that is a very smart move for all of you investors out there. Market, 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 exposure, exposure, exposure. If you have a solid unit, you definitely want to get it in front of as many people as possible. And having a strong network, a strong sphere of influence, as you can put that in front of, then you'll get known as, oh, you know, Michael's got those condos down at the beach. Let's give him a call for the weekend.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you definitely want to market to your sphere of influence. Let's get in unit 521 right here at the Caribbean Resort. Guys, look at these double beds as soon as you walk in. Absolutely stunning decor, design. The colors are popping. We see some barnyard doors, some LED lights. We see nice contrasting pillows. Man, now don't miss this over here. Huge flat screen TV. We've got a game system right here. Absolutely in keeping with what the top units have on Airbnb and VRBO. Now guys, notice that barnyard door. Notice that cool picture that pops. We've also got a closet here to the left. Let's get into the kitchen. All right. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful countertops, and it does wrap around. You notice that. They ran the countertops all the way up. Back behind here, you can see a pretty cool feature. You see those till appliances to really create that contrast and for it to pop. Cool mirror here. Now look what they did in the bathroom, guys. They did the same thing. They wrapped all around that old counter. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Got a nice LED light, mirror back there. You got your tub shower combo, of course. Great artwork on the walls. Let's get into the final bedroom. Now guys, they converted this from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. Now check out that executive desk. Man, that is sharp. Look at that. Come on. All right, so you'll see here, there's a nice table, sit down, talk, laptop, whatever, executive desk, bar, makeup area here to my left. Of course, there is a very cool themed fireplace here, flat screen, very, very nice art, and another LED backlit bed, which is super cool. Some great, great art. You have a little closet hanger system set up over there, nightstands, and of course, your moneymaker. Got a very cool child lock here. Make sure I've got this thing open. There we go. That's our tiled balcony, as you can see. But look at that view, guys. Sand and ocean right in front of you. That's what the people want. That's your moneymaker. Now it's March, and we have guests here. Look at this place. Absolutely stunning. Another barnyard door, don't miss it. And that wraps it up, guys, right here, Unit 521 at the Caribbean Resort. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. Now, Michael, I know that this choice wasn't as difficult of a choice for you, although it was a fight.
It was a fight.
It was a fight to get this deal done, I'll be honest with you. But it wasn't that challenging because you already owned rental properties.
Correct.
Now, walk us through, the fear that a lot of first-time investors might be facing. What was that like for you? How did you overcome?
Well, the fear is always going to be there. Every time we do a new property, there is fear involved. But the thing is, you just have to step out on faith that this is going to work. You see it work for other people. You know what you can do. You should be able to say, you know what, I'm better than these other people. I can do it too. and just do it. I mean, if it doesn't work out, you can always sell the thing.
Yep. Yeah, so one thing I'm hearing is bet on yourself.
Correct, 100%.
Bet on yourself. Like, that if you get into this business and you're doing it, then you know that you're going to be disciplined and focused and about it.
Correct.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, don't necessarily worry about the market. Don't worry about, yes, obviously use some common sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And get the right person.
And definitely get the right
Get
person.
a solid broker to help you.
You've got to have somebody
connections.
that'll get you going. If you have questions, this guy right here has the answers for you.
So get with a solid person that can definitely help you. Yes, use common sense.
Yes.
However, in large part, your whole success or failure, in large part, is going to be about you managing yourself well and you betting on yourself, knowing that you can stay disciplined and focused and that you're committed to doing this. It's that simple. It's like anything else. You get out of this what you put in it.
Yep.
100%.
Exactly.
All right, guys, so we've got with us Chris Crawley. He is the contractor, him and his wife Sam, that knocked this remodel out of the park. Now, I've got to ask a handful of questions because we all know that a solid contractor is a rare find.
Yes.
And Chris and his
100%.
wife, they are phenomenal contractors. Solid to work with, good, honest people. Now, Michael,
Yes.
what was it like working with Chris and Sam?
Oh my goodness, they were a dream. As soon as they came in, you had recommended these guys. As soon as we met them, they came in with a smile. Most contractors are just there to do business, and that's all. These people care about what they do.
Yes.
I have talked to Chris many times. I've talked to Samantha many times. They are always there to answer a question for you. If you got a problem, they're going to solve it for you.
Yep.
Everything's going to have a little issue here and there,
Right.
but all you have to do is point it out to them, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll take care of that for you. We'll take care of that for you."
We'll fix it.
Yeah, we threw ideas out, and they picked up on those ideas, and they ran with it, and they really did a great job.
Yep. And so now, out of all the contractors that you've ever worked with, where does Chris stack up?
Out of a 1 to 10 scale on Chris, I would give him about a 2,000.
Yeah.
He's always you were always on time. You were
Yes.
always there. You were always attentive. Communication was awesome. I could send a text, and I knew they're busy people, but I knew within an hour they would send me a text right back.
Right back.
To
Right.
me, that's a very important part.
No doubt.
When you don't get a text for 2 or 3 days, that's a scary part.
These
These guys will
Yeah.
make sure you feel comfortable there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's talk about delays because I know everybody here doesn't want to hear that the construction process, although we start with the best expectations, it's going to take 4 weeks, it's going to take 6 weeks, it's going to take 8 weeks. Delays happen, For example, you could order some tile and the tile that you order isn't in. It takes 2 weeks to arrive. Well, that sets the job
Or
back.
it comes broken.
Yes.
Or it comes broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you've probably seen some. Chris, throw out some examples here. What are things that kind of set jobs back that people need to realistically be considering?
All right, so if we're doing the full design and construction on a unit, you have to take in perspective that materials, we have to try to narrow down the design as quick as possible. So if we're doing the design aspect as well, then you got to take in perspective that it's going to take at least a couple weeks to narrow down the design. We usually get some ideas. My wife does an interview with the clients and get some ideas. She gets them to send them as much ideas of something that they like, and then she goes into that and she creates a design based on that. Sometimes what she interprets you saying or what you think you want, when you see it, you don't really like it. And we have to redo the design. And keep in mind, we can't really start the project before the design is done.
Sure.
Because, you know, short of demo, which I typically knock out in 2 days, tile, everything, kitchen, everything. Short of just doing the demo, we have no control over everything else.
Yeah.
I have control over myself and my employees, but I don't control material shipping. I don't control things happening in the resort that, you know, this one had a flood.
Yep.
And really, you know, made it shut down. Also, the elevator was shut down, where we couldn't even use the elevator. So
Yep.
we had to go into another building and walk all this stuff over, which is going to increase the time. Also, you got to take in perspective that these units, they have very strict rules, where to the point where the HOA will actually come upstairs and make the guys leave. Or if you're carrying trash down, if it's 501, they will make you carry the trash back up to the unit and put it back down.
That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, so we actually just had that happen Friday. So we really do care about our customers. I think that's the worst thing and the best thing I do in this business is I care.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I want this to turn out fantastic. I want it to be your vision come to life. We want it to be something that you walk in and you're proud of every time you see it. And a lot of that, it's going to take patience, it's going to take compromise, and it's going to take quality control.
Yep.
We have to be able to pivot and make compromises, especially if we're on a deadline we have to meet. If we do a design and say the tile is on back order, we need to, you know, pivot. You know, we need to say, hey, I can find you something that's comparable. It's going to be in the same price range.
Yep.
I can get it here in stock, and I can have your job done 3 weeks earlier if
we just get this thing.
If I could just go find something in stock, or we could find, you know, one of our vendors that ships a little quicker. Wayfair will tell you they're going to ship something in 2 weeks, and they'll send you an email in 2 weeks saying it's back ordered for 3 months.
Come on.
Whenever you say, whenever I pick the item, or my wife picks the item and it says in stock, maybe it's in stock, but maybe somebody else sold it at the same exact time, and now it's completely out.
Yep.
And we're on back order.
Yep.
Just happened.
Yep.
You know, we had something that was supposed to come last week, and they said it's going to be here in June. I'm like, we can't do that.
Yep, for sure.
It's already
Right.
been rented. So we had to. My wife goes on, and then she has to keep something that's in the design that matches the colors, fits in the space, and that's going to be here on time. So it really narrows down what we can use.
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt.
So if you want your job done quick, you have to be able to compromise.
That's right.
So that's one of the biggest deals.
Yeah.
I'm willing to compromise. If you tell me you need to change something during the process, I don't gripe about it too much, as long as it's, you know, not something crazy like taking out a wall or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like this. Me, Brandon, and my wife and our clients, we're all part of the same team.
That's right.
We all have the same end goal.
Yep.
And you made us feel like part of the team too.
Well, right.
and our
Every
clients,
step of the way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
know,
Ultimately, it's going to come down to trust.
yeah.
I mean, like, you're handing a project that has moving parts, and we can't just at the start of the project say everything's going to go perfect.
Right.
There's going to be no issues. There's going to be no problems.
Yeah.
We'll be done in 4 weeks and you'll be happy. It's not realistic. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and if you find a contractor that says, I can absolutely guarantee it be done by this particular day, run. Because there's going to be contingencies that come up, and you really do.
Yes.
Exactly.
They're always in. So,
Every
you know, you're handing essentially your baby over to us, not your physical baby, but your condo, your investment. And I know that you want to get that thing up and running and going as fast as possible. I get it. We want that for you too. We want you, buying 10 more condos and remodeling all of them. We'll help you with them.
Right.
So we have the same end goal. At the same token, there has to be trust. You have to trust that the people that you hired are the professionals that they are, and that we do this day in and day out, and that we're going to get that job done for you. You can pass it off to us with all those moving parts and unexpected churns, delays, all those things, and we'll still get it done for you. It's that simple and that easy, guys. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. All right, guys, we're on site in the kitchen. Let's talk through countertops. I noticed, Chris, that in this unit, you guys wrapped around the granite. You brought it all the way up the back for the backsplash and then wrapped it around the side wall there. I thought that was really cool. Kind of walk me through why you guys did that.
It just brings it together more, especially if you can align whatever patterns on the top of the countertop as opposed to what's on the wall. It just gives it a different look rather than putting just a plain subway tile back there.
Yep, absolutely.
One of the things we discovered after we came in here, and Chris had actually done it, we were like, wow, this kitchen looks twice as big as what it did before we did it. It was a dark, dingy kitchen.
Yep.
And it just pops now. It's so bright in here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. You know, those lighter colors tend to do that, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, they make the face feel expansive, much larger. Now, walk me through some of your tricks of the trade for these cabinets, Chris. What do you do on cabinets? I know that the Fulmer's budget was tight.
It was.
You know, so walk us through how you economically save the client money on this job.
So I give them the option to replace, which I feel is always the easiest for me as a contractor. Is just take the cabinets out, put new ones in. You also have the option to paint them. Now, keep in mind the paint process. It's somewhat pricey. It's about the same amount as replacing the cabinets, and the reason why is you have to put an oil base, you have to put polyurethane, and then you actually have to put 2 more coats of paint. And it also has a curing process. So it does, take a decent amount of manual labor and money to paint your cabinets. In this one, we changed out the hardware and painted the cabinets, and it looks.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we painted the cabinets and changed out the hardware, and it looks like a brand new kitchen. It looks like we actually ordered brand new cabinets, and this is going to last longer than a melamine cabinet or something like that because it has a curing process that's going to last. The only touch-ups you're ever going to need is around your hardware, where somebody grabs it and the oil off their fingers will rub that down. It's as easy as taking off the hardware, doing a couple touch-ups, and you have a brand new kitchen all over again, as opposed to changing the whole thing out. And there's no way you can keep the countertops. Say if I was to have to change these out, there's a good chance it's going to not work. It's a good chance when I take this countertop off, it's going to break. So you'll have to replace the countertops as well.
All right, let's talk through the bathroom, Chris, because obviously you wrapped around fully with granite, right? It's granite?
No, it's quartz.
Quartz with quartz countertop. And obviously if they would have put a sink on top of that countertop, it would not have looked good at all.
No, it
Not
wouldn't.
at all.
At the end of the job, I called Mr. and Mrs. Fulmer, and I told them that I would do the job at cost if they would just let me change out that vanity.
It was
because
horrible.
it did not look good. And to have the whole entire unit look this amazing and then have to be able to crop out the pictures of the countertop that was in here previously would have just been horrible to do.
And so
Yeah.
that's another reason you want a good contractor, because he has the eye. He lets you know these things. And I was trying to be cheap. I'll admit it. And he was just like, let's just spend a little bit more money. We can do this. And as soon as he did, we saw it. And we were like, that would have been a stupid mistake to do it.
Yeah,
the
now,
other way.
guys, if you're at the point with your contractor where you're going, well, he's just trying to get me to spend more money so that he makes more money, you might as well not even be working with that contractor anymore. Because now you're not creatively in a safe place working through the project together.
Right.
That one touch, yes,
Changed a lot.
it
Yes.
changed a lot, right?
It made the unit, honestly. It
Yeah.
really did make the unit.
Yeah, and so obviously investors don't want to spend more than they have to spend. We don't want you to
Right.
spend a bunch of money if you don't have to spend it. At the same token, you have to allow the creative license to the person with boots on the ground
Correct.
that does this for a living to give you some advice and say, hey, you shouldn't skimp here.
Right.
And you actually trust their opinion because they're the contractor that you hired that's working with you on this project. You've got to trust your contractor.
Right, and now it's cohesive and everything flows, and you'd never know that was the sore thumb in this whole unit.
Now, and in the heat of the battle, it gets hard to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're up against a mortgage payment that's coming through. You got HOA dues. As the investor, you're thinking about all these numbers. Oh man, peak season's going to be here. I'm going to miss my crowd. I mean, you got all this stuff going through your head.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to trust your contractor enough
Yes.
to say, all right, you've made a call. A Hail Mary right there, last minute. Wasn't planning on spending an extra $2,000, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But let's trust our contractor. And then after the fact, once everything settled down and cooled off and you guys got your first booking,
Yep.
obviously
Yep.
you can look back with a more sane mind and go,
Yes.
you know what, that was a really good call, Chris.
Yeah, we do not regret that at all. At all.
We took full credit for that, of course.
You should show them appliances that they picked as well. Those
Yeah,
are amazing.
I am. No, guys, that's what we're talking about. That bathroom right there is what we are talking about. And it looks absolutely stunning.
Yep.
And in large part because the contractors, boots on the ground, did their job and did it well. Let's chat through the appliances. Now, Chris is saying you guys get all the credit for it. You guys are saying he gets all the credit for it. I'm just saying that's the kind of a relationship you want. Talk to me about why you picked out the Till appliances.
Well, we kind of worked hand in hand with Chris and Sam on that because they were good decision makers with the countertops. They guided us into a neutral stone, and I love it. I don't regret it at all, but it had the blue complementary color that went with our orange Hermes inspiration. And so from that, we pulled the blue out and went with the teal kind of bluish complementary appliances, and everybody that has seen them, just loves
Rave.
them.
They rave over it.
They rave them. But that kind of came out of those countertops. That
Yeah, those
inspiration.
quartz countertops, I buy them in bulk, so I'm able to get them at a much less expensive price. I never want to say cheaper price, but less expensive price. And I have my own fabricators as well. So we're a lot of times where I can install some cabinets on Monday. I can have a template done on Monday and have your countertops in by Wednesday. A lot of I guess other contractors
That's right.
don't have.
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks, 3 weeks
2
before
weeks,
they
3
can.
weeks, 4
They'll come
weeks.
out and do a template, then they got to schedule it, and it
You're
takes
at the
2 or 3
mercy
weeks.
of the countertop
Yeah.
Right.
vendor themselves, as opposed to taking charge and doing everything in house.
It's
Right.
just another reason to use Chris and Sam. All right, let's jump into the executive desk area. This is the place where there used to be a Murphy bed. Kind of take us to school on how you guys arrived at this design.
Well, this is something that Chris and Sam
Yes.
told us about. They were like, we can take the Murphy bed out and we can put a desk there. And then they showed us an example of it, and we said that's exactly what we wanted to do.
It's winter.
Yeah, whenever we did it in another condo, it worked out really, really well because it gives you a focal point coming off of the balcony, and then when you come into the space, you turn around and it's almost like a surprise. You don't know it's really there. But it is a place that you can kind of have some creative freedom,
Correct.
hence the tile
Yes.
back here. So it gives you a little bit of an eye pop, but also is super functional. Coffee bar, wet bar, executive desk, makeup table, whatever anybody really needs.
Yep. So I think it's phenomenal for this segment, guys. Who doesn't wake up in the morning, have their coffee, grab their laptop, and start going to town on social media, emails, or whatever else?
Right.
You definitely need a space for that. Plus, it's super functional. It's practical. You can have a bar there. I mean, it just works, and it takes the added danger of a Murphy bed out. Like Murphy beds actually can fall on people's heads, hit
Yes.
people, hurt people, all that kind of thing. It's just not the feel that they were going for. So they used the space very, very well, very practically, and it ends up making the pictures pop on Airbnb and VRBO. It's another touch that your competition just doesn't have. All right, so guys, Chris, let's hear about those springs on that Murphy bed.
There's something. We did it in another unit, and as we were taking out the Murphy's bed, the spring thing, I don't know what it's called actually.
Brackets.
The spring, whatever.
Hydraulics?
It shot through the bathroom wall and into the cabinet. So I ended up having to replace the wall and replace the vanity inside of that.
Yeah.
Needless to say, Murphy's beds are dangerous.
They're dangerous.
Yes.
So if
If
it
not
can,
done
if
correctly.
it
Yes.
can do that,
Don't try this at home.
All right, guys, so let's talk through fireplace, flat screen, decor. How did you guys arrive at the combination?
Well, we didn't want the cliche beach condo decor at all, but we wanted the fun, sophisticated look. So we had our original Hermes orange color that we started off with, and then we needed a complementary color. Like I said, from the counters, the blue came from that, and then all of the other decor was just kind of an inspiration from those two main colors. We had our fun zone in the front room for the kids and the energy and the arcades, and then we wanted the back room to be a kind of a escape for the parental units, to have a resort kind of feel, still sophisticated, still have some color, but a little bit less poppy, still poppy with the lights, but we wanted a little bit more muted colors here in this king suite versus the high energy colors in the
makes
queen
great
suite.
sense. So basically, it gives you a degree of separation between where the kids are going to be staying, or possibly the in-laws, and where the main couple is going to be. I think it's brilliant. I think it works, and I think it makes this whole unit pop.
Correct.
All right, so as we were just talking about Nightmare Guest, we found some valuable content for you guys. Let's talk about using the right materials for the space.
Yes.
Take us to
absolutely.
school, Sam.
All right, whenever we're doing these rental properties, you obviously want to make it look as good as humanly possible because the pictures are what's going to rent the place.
Yep.
The better you do on it and the better decorated it is, the more people are going to flock to it because it's going to catch their eye way quicker. That being said, you need to make sure that you're buying cost-effective pieces that can last you through your busy season.
Come on.
And that way that they'll hold up for as long as you need them to. But if you need to replace them, you're not breaking the bank and you're not coming out of pocket a ton.
That's right.
Because your first year of owning a property, you're going to try and get as much back as possible. So you don't want to keep having to replace things that aren't easily replaceable, like your large furniture pieces. So I always say there's time and place for everything, and really expensive stuff's probably not it for a rental.
Right.
Yeah, so-
and you will get wear and tear, 100%.
Yep. And guys, like she's not saying it can't be beautiful.
Right.
It's got to be beautiful. It's got to pop. And she's saying the reality is people are not going to treat your things as well as they treat their own.
Exactly. We live in a day and age of everything is online. If you just do your research, and if you don't want to do your research, that's where I kind of come in.
Yeah.
I take over because I know where to look. I know what materials to look for, and also space plan the entire area, so I know what's going to fit in here. And you're not going to be surprised when you can't get your sofa into a 7-foot elevator because they don't have another one. Okay?
Oh, no.
That's tough, man. That's tough. Anything
Yes.
you guys want to add?
Just happened.
Yes. But whatever you do pick out, it can be beautiful, it can pop, it can be fun, but make sure it is practical. That is a huge suggestion, and that's my core.
Now, can you give any example of anything where someone has chosen something that was too expensive for the space?
Yes, all the time.
Just throw one out. Now, okay,
So let's look at a sofa, right?
Okay.
It's going to be your main piece in your living room. It's the main area that everybody's going to go, especially if you're traveling in a group of people.
Right.
So if you can sleep as many people in a hotel room or a condo or any kind of a unit that you're going to buy, you need to be able to sit that many people.
For sure.
People think you need to spend money on your living room pieces because they need to be able to last and you don't want to replace them. The more expensive you go, the more expensive it's going to be to replace them no matter what. So if you are going to go more expensive on pieces, I will say spend the money on a performance fabric for your chairs, for your sofa, your ottoman. Those things can be cleaned. Anything that has performance materials, performance fibers, anything that is easily sustainable that you can clean with a solvent, you're good. And you might as well put your money into that. Otherwise, just be smart.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
One thing that you got to take, the one thing you have to think about is this is an investment. You're not going to live here. It's your baby, but it's also an investment. So the less you have to spend over time, the more money you're going to make.
That's right.
Yes.
The better it looks, the more people are going to want to rent it.
Yep.
So you have to take in, you have to think about how much money you want to spend and how fast you're going to get that money back because you do pick a different item or you do something that's going to look better in the space.
No doubt.
So
No doubt.
it's a very fine line between, hey, I want this place to look good and I want it to be successful, but I also want to make money. So you have to figure out what part of your budget do you want to allocate to certain areas in the space. If it needs to be updated from the bones, that's where most of your money needs to go. Make it look beautiful in the perimeter and then put things in it that accentuate what you just did.
Right.
Yes.
And then if you don't need a lot of structural space, flip it around. Put more into everything that's going into it. That's not going to get torn up very easily. That's clean, that's nice, that's inviting.
Right.
That's your money pieces right there.
Guys, solid advice coming here from Chris and Sam and Michael and Jamie. If you're a first-time investor and you're interested in working with a solid crew to remodel your investment property, give me a call, 843-360-1737. We'll definitely help you. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.